All right, everyone, welcome to the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County's monthly meeting, January 8th, 2025. Let's start off with introductions. I'm Giselle Nova with the Fire Safe Council. I'm the coordinator for that entity. And Ruby, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Ruby. I'm Giselle's administrative assistant.
Kristen?
I'm Kristen Norman. I am also pseudo-administrative assistant and outreach coordinator for the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County.
There's nothing pseudo about you. You're full on. Josh?
Hi, everyone. I'm Josh, a program manager with CORE, working on the CWDG alongside the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County.
Jennifer Erickson.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jennifer Erickson. I'm the Fire Prevention Officer on the Klamath National Forest. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. Thule?
Hey y'all, I'm Thule Potts. I'm with the California Sierra Nevada Conservancy, and I'm the representative for Modoc, Shasta, Siskiyou, and Trinity County.
All right, welcome, Michael Hintz.
I'm muted. Mike Hintz with the Mid-Klamath Watershed Council. Happy New Year. Semi-happy to be here. It's always late on a Wednesday night, but thanks, everyone.
You were on time. You were great. So anyway, Greg.
Greg Dinger, volunteer with the record button.
Jeremy Johnson.
Good evening, everyone. Jeremy Johnson. I'm the pre-fire engineer here in the Siskiyou unit for CAL FIRE.
All right, welcome. Madeline.
Hi, Madeline Vaggi, Quartz Valley resident, concerned citizen, fly on the wall.
All right. Stephen Decatur.
Hi, everyone. Stephen Decatur. I'm with City of Dunsmuir and Dunsmuir Fire Safe Council.
Emily Drain.
Hi, everyone. My name's Emily Drain, and I am the project coordinator for the Trinity County Fire Safe Council.
Joe Rodarm.
Hi, everyone. My name is Joe Rodarm. I'm the district ranger for the Mount Shasta and McLeod Ranger districts on the Shasta Trinity National Forest.
Welcome.
Thank
Gregory Randazzo.
I'm Gregory Randazzo. I am the program coordinator of the Fire Safe Council, and everything.
Right. You were kind of broken up, but Gregory's with CORE, and he's working on the CWDG with Josh. Julie Titus.
Hi, Julie Titus. I'm retired Forest Service, but last, I don't know, more than a decade now, I've been doing community wildfire protection planning projects for various projects as a consultant here and there, and some volunteer work as well.
Yes, she has. She's been active. Jeremy Ravenscroft.
Hey, good evening. Jeremy Ravenscroft, CAL FIRE here in Wairika. I'm the vegetation management forester.
Glenn Jysted.
Good evening, guys. Glenn Jice. I'm board member of the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County, resident of Horse Creek, and the chair of the McKinney Fire LTRG.
Did I miss anybody? Has everybody had a chance to introduce themselves? All righty then. Well, welcome. We're excited to be entering just 8 days into 2025, and there's already a lot of activity in Southern California, and our hearts and prayers go out to not only the people that live there, but to the personnel and firefighters that are trying to stop that fire. Just crazy things in these days in the fire regime and world. So let's start off with our first action item. We're really ramping up with Firewise USA. And Kristen, would you like to talk to us about what's going on?
Yeah, I'll just give a brief overview, and then I'm sure when it's Steven's turn to tell us about Dunsmuir. He is really our county expert at this point with the first Firewise community. So just as the bird's eye view, let's see, is that Jennifer Erickson? Can you mute yourself? I think that's you. Got some background noise there. So yeah, we had Dunsmuir approved as our first Firewise community last September, and that's a really big one. 1,400 homes, I believe. And then right after that, we had a Skyview Firewise community approved in Mount Shasta by Kristen Hake. And then we've gotten 2 new applications in right before the end of the year with Michael Hentz, who will probably give us a little update on the status of his. That'll be another large Firewise community out in Happy Camp. He's gotten his application submitted. Awesome job on that, scrambling to the finish line, Michael. And then I actually haven't, I've been playing phone tag with Scott Tift, who just on his own, just up and did it without any help from us, and got approved already for another Mount Shasta area fire safe council called Shasta Acres. And then we have another application in by someone else who's also just independently doing this. John Ware out in Indian Creek, that has been submitted. And then we've got a handful of other potential Firewise leaders mobilizing their neighborhoods, and hopefully going to be getting in a handful of more applications in soon. So if anyone on this call is interested in getting their neighborhood going with Firewise, you can put your name and email, phone number in the chat, and I will get in touch with you. We're getting some great momentum. It's very exciting, and we've got some great mentors. Really grateful to Kristen Hake and Stephen Decatur and Dunsmuir, who are very generous with their time, helping other folks who are just starting the process out. So really say thank you to them. And yeah, we're gonna be putting together a little newsletter for the Hammond Ranch HLA that's trying to mobilize a pretty large scale Firewise community in that Hammond Ranch area. So if anyone would like that same information that would be helpful in distributing to your neighbors, getting the word out to hopefully get folks on board to start a Firewise community, put your name and information in the chat, and I will get that to you. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, unless Josh and Greg, am I missing anything?
Great work, Kristen. Nothing on my end.
Yeah, it's exciting to see the momentum build. And Josh and Gregory are getting the word out in all the communities they're doing the CWDG work in. So I think by the end of this year, I think we'll be pretty astounded at how many Firewise communities have popped up.
And briefly explain why Firewise community status is beneficial.
Oh, yeah. So there might be some folks on here that this is new to. So it's really a grassroots movement that you need to really get your neighbors together to do. You have to have a minimum of 8 property owners to create that application. You can always add more folks after you get it going, but it's beneficial for just, reducing your risk, obviously getting more people in your vicinity to do the work that needs to be done, clearing defensible space. It helps protect your property and home as well, and makes, evacuation safer. There's a lot of, other potential benefits with depending on the insurance company. There's a lot still kind of going on behind the scenes with the Department, California State Insurance Department, trying to get kind of standardization with the Firewise discount with insurance companies. Right now, it's just really dependent on each particular insurance company. There's a pretty wide range in the discounts that are being given, but we'll see how that evolves. And then a lot of these Firewise communities end up being able to get, micro grants, $5,000-$10,000 to a lot of them buy their own chippers, and then you have that on hand to for all the people in your Firewise community to use. Makes it cheaper, easier to keep that defensible space maintained, and also do evacuation routes in your neighborhood. They also can get grants for the fire address signs, the green reflective signs that are easier for the fire personnel to see, which also helps with your insurance. And it just building community, really, just getting to know your neighbors and forming that sense of community. And yeah, I'm sure I missed something, but that's the basics. Josh, Greg, Giselle, if you want to add anything.
I think that about covers it. And again, if your community, you need 8 or more residences, want to become Firewise certified, please reach out. You can put your name in the chat, or you can email myself, I guess, one, and then I'll give it to Kristen. Kristen is been our Firewise coordinator. I've been assisting her, so she's our main Firewise coordinator. And we will do what we can to help you get started. Now, we won't write your application, but we'll give you all the direction you'll need to get that done. So you'll need a leader for that Firewise, whatever Firewise area you want to address. Somebody will have to take the leadership on that. So, but we'll help where we can. So anyway, get in contact.
Oh, and if anyone is interested, there is a Firewise leader, a public forum that the Shasta County Fire Safe Council is putting on January 30th. It's open to the public. Anyone can come. It's going to have Carl Skinner, a leading fire science expert, speaking. So if anyone would like that information, you can, again, put your name and email in the chat.
All right. Well, now we'll just move on. We're going to go to the Klamath River Wildfire Crisis Strategy Landscape. Any information, Jen? I think you're the Forest Service person here today. How is that going?
I'm sorry, I don't have a representative here, and I don't have an update for it. People are just starting to come back into the office after the holiday, so I should have more information and hopefully a representative from that group at the February meeting.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, a lot of people are out, been running into that, and that's okay. People need a break. So Community Wildfire Defense Grant, the CWDG. Josh, would you like to give us an update?
Yes. Good evening, everybody. Update for the Community Wildfire Defense Grant. First, I'm really excited to announce to everybody, as you heard in the beginning of the meeting, we have hired on Gregory Randazzo as our project coordinator. This is very exciting. Greg's been very involved with not only fire suppression here in Siskiyou, but also mitigation as well. So welcome to the team, Greg. You all should be seeing Greg's face a bit more, and he'll get some time to update you here shortly. Out in Cecilville, where we've been focusing our work, we had some weather delays going over Carter Summit on and off during December and the wintertime. But getting out there, all questionnaires for the project are done and landowner agreements are signed, and we've started flagging out work. So this is very exciting, flagging out properties to get that defensible space, that first 100 feet taken care of. In Forks of Salmon, we've identified residents and sent questionnaires out to them. And then same with the Scott Bar, Hamburg area, received these questionnaires. These questionnaires are just a standardized way of deciding who gets selected. And so it's just even Stevens across the board for everybody. So exciting times in those communities. Before Greg's update, I'm going to put a couple things in the chat. There'll be a quick link to project information for those that may be interested, especially in the communities of Cecilville, Forks of Salmon, Scott Bar, Callahan, and Hamburg. And then there's also going to be a quick link to a great opportunity if you know anybody who's looking to get involved in wildfire mitigation, and maybe they're also a college student looking for some money. This is a 900-hour AmeriCorps fellowship here in Siskiyou County with an educational award. So that information will also be in the chat. Other than that, I'm going to open it up to Greg for an update on some assessment information.
Hey everybody, this is Greg Randazza. My update on the CWDG is we are kind of winding down on assessments in the Scott Bar area. Really trying to push, if anybody knows anyone in the Hamburg or Callahan areas, have them get into contact with us. We would love to get out there and get some assessments done and get some boots on the ground and get that work done as soon as we can. So we've been kind of having some struggles getting a hold of the Hamburg and Callahan residents, but hopefully we're going to start making some traction there soon. So that is kind of my update for the grant as of now.
Thank you, Greg.
Of course.
That's the end of report, unless there's any questions, or Giselle, if you had anything else you'd like me to touch on.
No, but if there's any questions, please feel free to do it. I would like to say how much we appreciate both Josh and Gregory. They've really stepped up, doing amazing work. They're on it, and we couldn't be happier with them. So, any questions?
Thanks, Giselle.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let's move on to the U.S. Forest Service updates. Klamath National Forest, Jen?
Oh, I'm gonna start my update, kind of getting onto the coattails of what Josh and Greg were just talking about. The next round of applications are being accepted right now for another CWDG grant. And so this will be the final opportunity to apply for grants. I think initially there were going to be 5 opportunities. This will be the 4th and final opportunity to apply for this grant. It's open until, let's see, the end of February. And just to remind folks, that's the grant that's being used that the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County has been doing amazing things with. So kind of sky's the limit with it. But some basic sideboards are that you can apply for funding to implement work that's already been identified in an approved CWPP, or you can update or develop a new CWPP. If you have a CWPP that is more than 10 years old, it is eligible to be updated using funds from this grant opportunity. So it's a big deal. It's pretty cool, and it's the last shot to get at this one. So I will put some information in the chat when I'm done with my update, and anyone who has questions can always reach out to me. I will also put my phone number on there. Okay, so that was my first thing.
Quick question or clarification. Isn't it if the CWPP is more than 5 years old, you can apply?
Oh, it could be. You might be right. You probably know better than I do, having received
right,
the grant.
Giselle?
Yeah,
I'll double check
It has to be 5 years or more in order to be eligible for an update. But you can write a brand new one. You can ask for brand new ones, but updates, the document has to be older than 5 years.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Good catch. I appreciate you correcting me on that. Any more questions on CWDG before I continue? Okay. We have sent several resources down to Southern California to help with the crisis that's going on down there, including engines and dozers. We're still getting, obviously, some orders for folks to go. So I anticipate we'll be sending more people down there. We have been continuing to burn piles across the Klamath National Forest. Right now, we're up to about 1,300 acres since we started in the fall. We did take a little break during the holidays, but we're getting back into the swing of things this week. Our seasonal fire hire is about to kick off. And with that, we're having a recruitment event down in Reading at Shasta College on the 17th and 18th of January. And that event will be all about, helping people navigate through our application process, which uses USA Jobs. It'll be telling them about the work that we do and what career opportunities there are. I will also be putting that flyer into the chat. There is an additional window for people to apply for seasonal jobs. Normally we have this kind of early fall application period, but right now, actually on Monday, it opened up and will remain open to the 27th. And that's for people to apply for seasonal jobs, seasonal fire jobs with the Forest Service. Yesterday, some of you may have seen that there was an announcement about the Satitla National Monument proclamation. President Biden was supposed to sign that yesterday, but got weathered out of his event. I'm not sure if it was still signed or not, but we did send a press release out about that, and that encompasses 250,000 acres of the Medicine Lake Highlands. That is exciting news. I will put the press release for that into the chat as well, if people want to know more. I don't have a lot of details on that, but I do know that there was a lot of discussion about the value of the timber out there, the ecosystem, and the need for fuels reduction and managing that land. So let's see. And I think that for now, that is all I've got, unless there's any questions.
No, I am interested in the Medicine Lake Highlands thing. Does that include those historic cabins and properties that people vacation in out there? Or did they getting roped into that?
It's only federal lands, so no private
okay.
lands will be included in the monument.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Joe, you're up.
Thank you. So Jennifer took quite a few of the things I was going to talk about. I still have a list here, of course, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe.
No, that's totally okay, because
Okay.
we're working on the same things right now, and that Satitla Highlands National Monument affects all of us. It covers, like Jennifer said, about 220,000 acres or so across portions of the Klamath, Modoc, and the Shasta Trinity. We don't have many other details right now, except for what's been released in the press releases, because it's just so early. At some point, a management plan would be developed for that area, and of course, public input and scoping and participation in the development of that plan would occur. And we'll make sure that the Fire Safe Council and all other stakeholders and interested parties are reached out to when that starts to occur. But again, that's down the road some ways. It's really, really early, and everyone's still trying to figure out how it's going to proceed. Okay, so into my other updates, and Jennifer, same as you guys. We clearly had a slow fire season, but we've kept our firefighters busy. We sent them out throughout the country helping on other fires over the past 6 months or so. And currently, we also have engines and staff down in Southern California to help with the fires down there. We are expecting additional requests potentially. At the moment, we've answered every call that we've been able to. For our recent operations on the unit, we conducted pile burns last month near McLeod, and over the past couple of months near McLeod, Mount Shasta, and Castle Lake. And we'll be conducting more burns within the next few months when conditions are more appropriate and allow us to get in there and to conduct some burns, including prescribed burns. We're also preparing timber sales to occur within the South Fork Sacramento project area within the next year. And just a little side piece of information, the unit is also planning on hosting, I believe it'll be 2 AmeriCorps crews this year, waiting on confirmation to increase our on-the-ground treatments like we did last year. It was a big success for us. And we will be hosting our annual Youth Conservation Corps as well. That's a local high school program. If for those that are unaware, we bring on high school students, we pay them over a summer paid internship, and expose them to a variety of natural resource management principles and hard work in the field, working on trails and other sorts of activities. And this will be the 50th year of our YCC group. So really excited about this upcoming season. For our projects, we're in the early, I can't emphasize enough, we're in the very early planning stages for 2 potential fuels reduction and vegetation management projects on the Shasta McLeod Management Unit. One would be in the area between the city of Mount Shasta and the ski park, and would address the dead and dying trees in the area along the management of the other resources around there. The other project would be a large, well, we've kind of broken it up into 2 projects itself, but the first one would be the second project would be a fuel break along Pilgrim Creek and Esperanza roads in that area, with the fuel reduction in the triangle that those roads make with Highway 89. So both of these projects are in very early development, and we don't have details for the public yet. But once we do, we will be inviting public participation and comments, and that participation in the NEPA process. So moving forward, a very quick roads update, just so everyone's aware on the unit. The Everett Memorial Highway is open up to Bunny Flat, and the Castle Lake Road is still closed. We're also actively seeking funding to pave Esperanza Road and to make some upgrades to Pilgrim Creek Road. And yeah, my last note was about the Satitla Highlands National Monument. So I think that's the end of my report, unless there are questions.
That's all really good, Joe. I'm excited about those projects, and just wanted to comment that your 89 project all the way to McLeod is looking really good. It's really nice.
Thanks for that. Yeah, we're super proud of that project. It was a big success, and we're going to try to replicate that. That might actually be the prescription we go for in the fuel break project we want to put along Pilgrim Creek and Esperanza Road, and eventually additional fuel break out towards the east of the unit.
Well, if anybody hasn't seen it, go take a drive to McLeod, from Mount Shasta McLeod, and look at the work that's been done along the highway there. It's just really nice. I really appreciate it. Julie.
Yeah, one question for Joe. On the work that was done on Everett Memorial, where a whole bunch of really, really large dead trees were dropped, huge pockets of them. A lot of them were just left. Are they gonna, I mean, they're so big. I'm just kind of curious. That is difficult to know what's gonna happen, but are you guys just gonna let it lay, or are you guys gonna pile that stuff, or is there a plan on that?
Yeah, I'd have to consult with my fuel manager. However, we're not just going to leave them there. I believe the plan is going to be to end up either chipping them, but I believe we're more likely to burn them. What we're able to.
They're so big though. I'm not sure. I mean, as being a fuels person myself, I'm like, that's going to be a real puzzle because the size of them. So I was curious if, Anyway, okay.
We haven't been able to treat those yet, but I believe that's in the plan, and I can check with Brian Murphy on that and get back to you.
It's not urgent. Just curious if you knew. Okay, thanks.
Will any of that be opened up for firewood making?
We could do that. We definitely could do that.
Yeah, that would be excellent. It some of it's so big, you just have to be careful on that, because of the people that aren't sure if they have the capabilities on that. But and rather at the access part, I think there's a road along there though that obviously they should be able to get in at some point. So yeah, interesting. Okay.
That's a good. Those are good questions. I'll definitely look into that.
Hey folks, if you're not muted, please mute so that I hear background stuff. Okay. All righty, let's move on to the next, CAL FIRE. Is there an update from somebody from CAL FIRE? Jeremy? or
Yeah,
Jeremy?
I'll go ahead and let Jeremy Ravenscroft have the floor, and then I'll fill in any of the holes after he's done speaking.
Okay.
Okay, good evening again, Jeremy Ravenscroft. Um, we similarly are been working diligently with our burn piles, trying to get caught up on those that were made over the last couple of years. A lot of plans in place for some more fuels reduction throughout Siskiyou, the unit. Um, we're coming up to a pretty hard deadline this March for several grants, CAL FIRE grant funded programs and projects. Those are expiring in the middle of March, and trying to get as much of those funds expended as possible, and still do effective work. So that's been going very well. I would like to just one comment regarding some of the downriver community. I've had a couple contacts this winter about folks interested in joining in on fuels reduction projects. One of those small communities is right there at the mouth of Thompson Creek. I visited with one landowner in particular that has worked in the past with McWick and some others doing fuel reduction on his property and neighbors, but there is quite a bit of interest on the river corridor, particularly between Happy Camp and then up to Klamath River itself. So if anybody would like some contacts for the folks I've been talking to down there, just feel free to go to hold of me here in Wairika at the headquarters office. Outside of that, I think Jeremy, I'll punt to you for now until I have anything else to add.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so I have just a few updates for the unit. Just like the U.S. Forest Service, we've sent a lot of resources down south to help combat the 3 fires that are there. Some engines, some dozers, and people going out on overhead as well. And then in the more recent past, we have laid off our firefighters. That happened back in December 15th, and we're looking to pick them back up March 15th. And basically now the firefighters are on a 9-month cycle, the majority of them. So our calendar year for fuels reduction work, we're sitting at about 950 acres, 970 acres of broadcast burning in the unit, and that's both our projects and where we've assisted with the U.S. Forest Service. And then we're at roughly 3,700 acres of combined fuel reduction work, and that's including our CFIP grants, the forest health grants, and then the work that our unit has done. We got money for an excavator, and that also has a masticator attachment, and that's funding through a CAL FIRE grant Northern Region, and we should be getting it delivered on Friday. And maybe Jeremy Ravenscroft might have some more details about that. And then it's going to be working on the Osgood project, the Osgood project just outside of Wairika, along with Spencer Ranch, and then also down in the south, Lake Siskiyou project have been our 3 main focuses, and we've been doing mechanical and also handwork, thinning, piling, and then also pile burning. Okay, and then I just want to move on to grants real quick. You can view the CAL FIRE grants just by Googling CAL FIRE grants, and it gets you to the grants webpage. Currently, the CFIP grant is open and ongoing, and also our forest health grant. And the forest health grant actually closes on the 15th of this month. So for anyone interested in the forest health grants, make sure you have your applications in by the 15th. And then our wildfire prevention grants will be back on a normal cycle, which is typically in the fall, maybe October-ish. They start opening that up. So just pay attention on the website, and they're pretty good about updating that and letting you know when the grant solicitation period opens, as well as putting out press releases. And then last thing I want to touch on is just that obviously the funding across all of our CAL FIRE grants program is going to be cut, and that's just due to the state budget being cut. That's the end of my report, unless you have any go backs, Jeremy.
Yeah, nothing for me.
Okay, well, I think that's it for us, Giselle.
Well, I sure appreciate it. Now, there was a initiative for, a bill for, something that gave billions of dollars to fire prevention and fuel reduction work. What's going to happen with that money, and when is that coming available? Or is that just going to be for CAL FIRE to do work, or is that going to go out to other sources? Are you going to outsource that at all, or do you know?
Yeah, I'm not aware of that, the bill that you're talking about. I haven't got an update from our North Region grants person in probably a month and a half or two. I tried to reach out today just to get some updated info, but hopefully I'll have some better information to report out at the next meeting.
Sure. Well, they didn't say that was going to be given in grants. It was just 4 billion to fuel reduction throughout the state. I'm not sure how they're going to disperse it, but I was curious as to what they might be doing with it. All right, let's move along. Caltrans, anybody here from Caltrans? I will say that we just finished up the Azalea project. We went back and remasticated maintenance. We don't usually get to do that, but we talked with Jeremy Ravenscroft. We had a little bit of funding left in that, and our contractor, Juan Coda, went back and maintained that for us, and it looks really nice. And if you ever are on I-5 and you drive past Azalea down to the Siskiyou overpass, take a look at the west side of the freeway. Juan's done some nice work there. And also the east side looks really nice, but we didn't do that. RCD did, and it looks they've done a good job there too. Any comments on that, Jeremy Ravenscroft? You think it looks good?
No, we were very pleased with it. The different techniques we used. Of course, we're always trying something new, but I believe we're going to get a really nice finished product that will get some longevity out of that treatment, because we know how expensive a lot of these things are. So hopefully what we've done is going to give us some longevity. I did want to mention we're working with Hearst Corporation and the RCD, and they were able to do at least begin some right-of-way fuels reduction on the private property as you approach McLeod from the west. So we're trying to augment what the Forest Service has already done west of McLeod, have a project that joins in with the good work the Forest Service is doing. And so the plan is to continue that right-of-way clearing along 89 on the Hearst-owned property on either side, west side and the east side of McLeod. There's also going to be a fuel break along the road that encompasses the town to the north. Similar project, but we're just going to have to wait for a little bit better weather to continue that. And then also thinking of things as the conversation is going on, I did get contact from the Mount Shasta Ski Park, and it sounds like they're working on a fuels project. Hopefully a grant, it sounds like. Maybe Thule, you might have an update on that, but it sounds like they were working with the Sierra Nevada Conservancy for a potential project, and maybe that will augment the project that Greg had mentioned a little bit earlier on the Forest Service. All I have.
Yeah, Jeremy, the ski park did approach us about a potential fuels project on their property that would augment the work that's being done in that area. So that's in the works, and it'd be great to see additional work happen in that area.
Oh, yeah, everything we can do counts and appreciated. Caltrans, nobody, is anybody from the RCD here? All right. University of California, I think they're between, right, Kristen? They're between leadership folks there.
Yeah, the cooperative extension, yeah.
Okay. And then OrCal, I don't believe they're here. Prescribed Burn Association is not here. Scott River Watershed Council, anybody here? Mount Shasta Bioregional. Sierra Nevada Conservancy. Update.
Happy to do a quick update. Let's see. The state passed Proposition 4 in November, so that does have funding in it for us to run our grant programs again. We have about $81 million that's identified for the SNC across our entire jurisdiction. We will be able to run our wildfire resilience project, sorry, our wildfire recovery and forest resilience grant programs again. The timing on that's still unknown. We're trying to work with CNRA to identify when that will roll out. We'll have to write new guidelines for our grant program. We expect them to be pretty similar to our last round, so you're welcome to look at those on our website. But we will have new ones coming out. So I'll keep you guys informed as we know more. So that's the big update. Our June board meeting for our executive board will be held in Modoc County this year. So kind of close to home, but not super close. So if anybody's interested, feel free to reach out as June rolls around. That's all I can think of at this time.
Thank you so much. So that kind of explains where Prop 4 went. Jeremy, that's what I was wondering. What are they doing with that? So it's a good thing.
It went to a number of different agencies across the state.
Yeah.
Portion of it is coming to Sierra Nevada Conservancy. So
nice. Very nice. All right. Next is Siskiyou County OES. Nancy Ogren, Red Cross, Pacific Power. USD, NRCS, nope. Siskiyou County Air Quality, they got some new folks and they will be attending later. Are they here? Is anybody from Air Quality here? They said that Eric is retiring and they're bringing on some new folks. Somebody, what, Ruby, do you remember the name? Jack somebody? And anyway, it was in an email earlier today. And so we're going to be getting some new people at Air Quality.
Oh, hopefully they're as great as Eric. I finally got to meet him in person after, it's always funny to meet someone after 3 years of Zoom land.
Yeah.
And he never even has his video on, so I don't even know what he looked like, but I met him at the BurnBot prescribed fire up at the Rain Rock Casino last, what was it, November. So yeah, got to meet him just before he was leaving, I guess.
Yeah, he's been with us a long time. Hence, he's retiring because he's been around a long time. So anyway, let's move along with County Sheriff's not here, CHP not here, Siskiyou County Natural Resources not here. Any updates on the Wyden Amendment, Jen or Joe?
None from me on my side.
Okay. I haven't heard anything recently either. So now we're going into local fire safe council updates. Black Mountain, I know that Joe Hott, he's not here, but he's been doing some volunteer cleanup around his fire safe council territory, and we appreciate him for that. Butte Valley, we're still working on a project there and in Bray, and hopefully we'll be putting that out to bid soon. Copco Lake, no news. Dunsmuir, Stephen.
Hello, everyone. So our Dunsmuir Fire Safe Council meeting is going to be next week, Tuesday, the 14th at, I believe it's 5 p.m. It's on our website. And that'll be in person and virtual. We're going to be discussing our plans for upcoming Spring Green Waste Day, which will be May 3rd. And we are going to be doing a much larger volunteer event this time. I have interest from the McConnell Foundation and from the Shasta Ecology Center, Mount Shasta Ecology Center to assist with volunteers. That's going to be our biggest limiting factor at the last event was that we were completely maxed out at capacity. It was nonstop. So I'm hoping if we are able to acquire more volunteers, we can do more this time and extend the hours also. So that's the plan. We're going to kind of discuss that in the meeting, talk about what might be available to make it bigger. And then we're also going to be talking about the Siskiyou County Fire Safe Council project that's going to be happening in the east side of Dunsmuir. And so Christine Cloward will be there to kind of give an overview of the project for people. And I'm going to ask people to help us knock on doors if we have to get people to sign up. And if I don't have any volunteers, then I will be knocking on doors for a couple weeks until we get everybody signed up. So one way or another, it's going to happen. So we're going to be talking about that at the meeting as well.
Yeah, we want to, we've got a good project going there. We just completed the CEQA on it. It's approved and we're ready to go as soon as we get enough folks. Here, Gregory needs back in there, guys. Okay. And appreciate that, Stephen, that you're willing to go knock on doors. Chief Padilla said he would do that too, didn't he? So, we might just get a day of door knocking going on and see what we can do and get folks signed up. So, well, thank you. Anybody got any questions for Stephen? And he's also, you want to give an update on your Firewise status? Everything going well there? And
Yeah, everything's going well with Firewise. Yeah, we don't really have too much of an update there. I think that we'll see how this year goes, but I'm thinking that with Green Waste Day alone in Dunsmuir, just so everybody knows how easy it is to be Firewise, we could remain Firewise certified just from doing one Green Waste Day every year, and we do two. And that doesn't include all the work that people do on their own without Green Waste Day. So it's pretty easy to maintain. The hurdle's just getting the certification through. So I think this year will go very smooth. Oh, and then I guess this isn't finalized at all, but we are considering starting a chipping program in town. The city of Dunsmuir would do that. It would be at cost. People would have to pay, but it would be a reduced cost for what you would typically have to pay for that service. So we're kind of working through what that would look like right now, but that is something that we want to begin to start offering. So that might be coming soon.
that's awesome.
Michael
let's move on.
Hentz could probably be a good contact to glean insight from because they've been doing that sort of thing with McWick crews for a long while now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Greater Weed. Well, we wrote a grant and received funding to do a CWPP for Greater Weed. That might even cover Hammond Ranch. I'm not sure. We'll be putting that out to bid either later this month or in February, but we'll do a CWPP for that area. And we're also will do a countywide CWPP update. So, and then Hammond's Ranch. Kristen, do you have anything?
No, I think we already gave a little report in December's meeting about Josh from CORE and I went to the Hammond Ranch HLA annual meeting. There was about 60 folks there and gave a little presentation to everyone about Firewise and it was a great discussion and answered a lot of questions and they voted and everyone, almost unanimously agreed they wanted to move forward with creating a Firewise community there and talked about, how to structure it. And so we are, like I said, writing a little blurb for their newsletter. It's going out next week, so just supporting them in the process. So yeah, like we didn't really specifically say earlier that, that's the kind of support we can offer is come to any, even if it's just around somebody's coffee table at their house with a a handful of your neighbors were happy to come and bring the pamphlets and materials and talk to folks and answer questions to get the process going and help with as much as we can, with the process. But it's again, you really do have to have a dedicated leader that's going to take the reins. But yeah, so we are just working with them through the process.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of good things. And now you're in the area, right? So are you officially a Hammond Ranch resident?
Not officially. I'm a little outside. The land we're on, the area we're on did used to be part of Hammond Ranch, but we're not in that.
Are you a Weed resident?
Yeah, we're still in Weed, just barely. Yeah.
So you'll be part of that CWPP. Okay. We're going on to Happy Camp. Michael.
I'm looking around the video room and we're all bundled up. It is winter time. It's hilarious, and so am I. I'm in the cottage and I'd start a fire over here because it was so cold. Outside like the standard, on my little cheap rain gauge, which I keep, 30 inches of rain.
Wow.
And the first rains were in late August, which were just a heaven sent, a little dousing rain, but 38 inches. So that's great. As far as our Firewise application, I managed to sneak it in, as Kristen said. And it wasn't my attempt to have it actually certified. It's kind of more like to begin the process from last year. And I'm hoping that with the required edits and revisions and some better, I provided so much mapping work, but they wanted a cleaner map of single map, but whatever. So ideally, we continue to work on our Firewise community application this year, and ideally that gets certified. This morning, I was happy with Mickwick. Anytime we do anything, there's always a process. All of us live in that world. So I had a contract company start fuels reduction this morning. So nice to meet a new crew, about 100 acres on 2 different sites, one on private, one on public, no, both on private actually, one on private, one on Crook tribal property. But that's always nice to see a new group of people who are hardworking on the ground, starting again, right? And this is a strategic fuel break above 96 in the Gordons Ferry Road area. Pivoting back to the Firewise, Orleans Soames Bar has been a Firewise community for quite a long time. That's also administered by Mickwick. There's random stuff, which is we have a prescribed fire crew that we started this year. They're actually in South Carolina right now, going through some significant training for this week, but they've been on the ground burning piles, so helping us with that. I think we have maybe 20 acres left of literally hundreds of acres of piles that we've burned through the fall and winter, and we will hopefully get that all done by the limited operating period closure, which is February 15th. So you got all these interesting goals, right? How you can get work done, within these periods. Our Happy Camp CWPP, I think we've got our final signatures. I think there were some DocuSign issues, but all the partners, all the organizations are signed up. So that's been quite a long process, as anyone can imagine. And I'm just looking at my little notes in the dark because I turned off my lights. But happy to be here. I think the main idea is we're all in January now, just kind of ramping up for a big year. So hopefully we've all gotten a break, and it's kind of like a breath to do some of that long range planning. We're working with the Klamath National Forest on cross boundary burning and a big NEPA CE process that goes along with that. But I'm just happy everyone's here, and stay warm, be safe. The winter's not over. I think there's been some driving little things that show up in the news. Just be careful driving, everyone, and stay warm. And thanks for being here. And that's my end of report, as they say.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you. Horse Creek.
I'll speak for Horse Creek. The recent news with our Horse Creek Fire Safe Council is that the the current core team is kind of disappearing or retiring or having some life changes. So we're kind of in the process of rebuilding the leadership for the Horse Creek um, Fire Safe Council. We've got one particular lady in our community who says yes to everything and is part of every single volunteer group there is, and she's been bearing far too much on her shoulders alone. So we're reaching out to new people to try to get them involved in helping with this community. But um, you know, we're like everybody else. If we had a fire 6-7 years ago, we've had multiple fires surrounding us almost every summer. Um, this is a community that needs to get a little bit of push and make sure that we stay diligent with the efforts to keep our homes safe. Um, so hopefully we'll have some news about some new leadership for the local Fire Safe Council in the near future.
Yeah, that's great, Glenn. All right, let's move on to Juniper Flat. No one's here from there. I think they've taken a break. She was going to write a grant this year and then decided not to. That's gosh. Anyway, she's not going to do it. And then we're going to move on to Klamath River. Lake Shastina. So we've got our VTP submitted and we're ramping up getting landowners to sign up to do our 180 acres, moving right along out there. Lower Scott River. Anyone here? McLeod? Mount Shasta area, we're working on the Ream to Up Old Stage, South Old Stage to Azalea. And we've got about another 100 acres to go. So we're working on that, moving right along. Quartz Valley, Greg?
No update as of now. I will reach out and see if I can get some information for next meeting.
Okay. Salmon River, Syed Valley, Wairika area. Josh, what do you know? Anything from them?
Yeah, we'll be meeting with George Jennings and the Wairika Fire Safe Council folks this Friday. They have a grant project for 25 homes, and part of that project, they need assessments. So we're kind of going to collaborate a bit and let them use the software. So some of those numbers will work towards our project, and we'll be helping them out as well. So should be a good collaboration. That's this Friday, and that's all I know.
So what Josh is referencing is a software called Fire Aside that you can do a home assessment similar to what CAL FIRE does, only it's not punitive. They're not going to come out and cite you or anything. It's just informational, and it can be printed out or sent to the landowner for their own information so they can start doing their own work. And if they qualify, they will be part of the CWDG grant, and we will do it for them. So, but the software is called Fire Aside, and it's a home assessment software. If you're interested in that, let Josh or us know. Okay, others present. Anybody else want to say anything? Now's your time. Open forum. Any comments?
Well, I think the obvious one, this is Mike Hansen, Happy Camp for McWick, is the Southern California Palisades fire. There's the Eaton fire. There's the Hearst fire. I mean, goodness, this is January 8th in the middle of winter, right?
Right.
And, we're all pretty savvy. There's a lot of components of fuels in the landscape and topography and et cetera. But the
Yeah, well,
wind,
they have a unique situation, Mike, down
Yeah.
there. These Santa Ana winds, which were
the
forecasted,
wind,
they
exactly.
happen all the time.
Yep.
And all the years I've fought fire down there, we were always down there. This one's a little later, but not much. I was down there in December, and these things happen, and it's really tragic. They can't even fly air tankers or helicopters in that initial time. They are today, thank goodness. But it's
Yeah.
tragic.
Yeah, the wind is, in the Slater fire, the McKinney fire, so many of our fires, Paradise, it's always the wind is the most dynamically important component to me, the X factor I call it. But I just thought I would, as you did, Giselle at the beginning, just to think about what's going on down there and how we all struggle with this. It's a different type of fire than maybe we deal with. But I just thought I'd point that out and see if anybody had any good thoughts. And thanks,
I don't
Julie.
know if it's a good thought, but a concerning component is the lack of water. I heard that the fire hydrants started with water and then fizzled out. There's no water to fight the fire. I don't know. Right now, this is just hearsay. I don't know what the truth is, but they're really struggling with the water stuff. And I guess the governor taxed us to improve the water flow and conditions down there, but nobody's seen any improvement. So where did the money go? What happened? What's the real story? Is it just conspiracy? I don't know. But they're having water issues in fighting this fire. That's what I heard anyway.
Yeah.
It's also
it
they
occurs
haven't
to
had
me-
rain since for 8 months, any significant rain. It's just awful.
Yeah. What's that, Glenn?
I was just observing that, it's a unique opportunity for us up here in Siskiyou County. I mean, because on one hand, we're dealing with an unbelievable amount of rain and water, and everything's wet. And so nobody's thinking about wildfire up here. Homeowners, they're not conscious of the fear of wildfire as they are, in the middle of the summer. But this is, and so there is, great irony in watching Southern California burn so horrifically. But this is an opportunity for us because you have a dramatic wildfire in the news day after day after day, that this is an opportunity for us to kind of piggyback that story with all of our different educating efforts. Particularly I'm thinking of like the CWDG, where we're trying to solicit homeowners to participate and to say, yes, I want my home assessed. I mean, we need homeowners to get buy-in. And when you have an event of this magnitude that's on the news that everybody's watching and concerned about, it kind of pre-sensitizes them, perhaps. And so if all of us that have different kind of opportunities to engage the community or to reach out to the community to try to get them involved, I think this is an opportunity that we could leverage, quite directly and unashamedly. It's like, yet again, here's another horrific wildfire, and we all know that we're going to be subject to that this summer. So are you ready? What have you done? Have you signed up for CWDG? Have you cleared defensible space? Do you know about Firewise? I mean, this is definitely an opportunity for us in our efforts to communicate to this county.
So true, Glenn. Thank you for speaking up and saying that. Yeah. And now if we can just get that message out to the county and people, I don't know if we need some kind of a media blitz on, while this is happening in Southern California, and with a little pressure on folks. Look what could happen. This could be you. And it will be. It's not when. It's not if, it's when. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we could do a special edition newsletter or whatnot, something like that.
Yeah, and we can push it through mass emails. We can push it on Facebook pages, which are quite popular throughout the county and the different small communities. We have a variety of ways of getting in front of the eyeballs, so to speak.
Well, we can dust off Reddy. He's just lonely, forlorn in the storage unit. Get him out, and the Butte County Fire Safe Council really, just goes for it. Like they just use their iPhones. They don't like have any fancy videography.
Yeah, it does.
They just get Reddy out there in the community and just make these
Yeah.
videos and
Right.
I don't I agree. I don't think we have to worry about this being any sort of, well-produced sort of message. It just has to be clear. And the whole goal would be to direct them to programs that already exist. We have lots of things going on. Let's just use this to get people to, um, connect the dots, realize that if you don't know, there's lots of programs here that you need to touch base with.
Yeah, we could
maybe just a little script, some talking points.
Yeah.
And hand those talking points to a commentator, and somebody use their iPhone and make a little clip and post it on Facebook and around and send it out to emails.
I agree. That's all great ideas. Very good. And it wouldn't hurt to put even the little clips from SoCal to remind the people that maybe haven't been seeing the news. I don't know, but yes.
Yeah, I've been inundated with a lot, and I'm sharing some with Kristen. Some of the clips that I saw today, people are sending me, and Kristen says it gives her PSTD, so I'm not going to send them out to her, but they're pretty horrific.
Yeah, I can't really watch them, but
Yeah.
and not at the time. I have to yeah.
People trapped in their houses and filming it, and cars being bulldozed off the roads. It's pretty scary stuff.
It's the aftermath is going to look an awful lot like Lahaina in Hawaii, where you see famous neighborhoods just reduced to ashes. I mean, it's going to be like paradise. It's going to be one of these visually heart-wrenching results. I mean, and it's not even done yet, which is terrifying. It's going to only get worse.
Yeah.
I just had another thought that we could, if Nina, Matt, Yosef from CORE that, are down there, the headquarters, were able, willing and authorized by CORE, to do a little interview. We could record and post, something like that.
Yeah, Josh might be able to jump in on that.
Yeah, we could send it their way. Nina unfortunately wasn't able to join us tonight because of the evacuation. So she's
evacuated?
Was she evacuated? Oh wow.
So they're kind of in the mix right now with the response. I know Matt Giselle, who's usually in these meetings as well, he's wrapped up in that. And I haven't talked to Yosef, but I imagine just with the headquarters being down there, the amount of staff and partners they have, they're probably pretty busy.
Yeah.
Wow, heart-wrenching. And I think I told you all, my son's down there. It's his birthday today. Nick turned 45 today, and he's down there fighting fire. So prayers, please, for everybody.
Bless his heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other side we could spin off of it. Glenn and I could collaborate. Is speaking to the fire survivor side of things, and do a little as like a public service thing. I can get on there, and Ready can be on there, and I'll teach Ready how to do the TTT, the trauma tapping technique, to help people
with
that are in the
we might need to do a couple of clips, one just for that and one for other things. But we should, like I said, if you want to write some ideas and just some talking points for each one, and then we'll go for it. And sooner the better. We can't let this opportunity leave.
I think that's a great idea. And I think also emphasizing to go when you're told. I saw a lot of footage that really bothered me, in the fact that there's people that were still with hoses in their neighborhood with fully involved house right next door. I was kind of surprised. I don't know what was going on, to be honest.
Yeah.
Usually law enforcement, maybe they didn't have enough LE. I mean, they were overwhelmed, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I saw. People filming the fire right outside their doors. And I'm thinking, why are they there?
Yeah.
Did they get out? I was just, did these people get out? So
and you have that kind of thing going on. The firefighting resources then have to only deal with getting people out and helping people rather than helping homes. And I don't know what happened. I hope we hear something on that. I don't know.
Well, I heard that the fire was moving at about 100 miles an hour, and people were literally caught unaware and are scrambling as fast as they could to get out of there. So I don't know. I don't know if they just are uneducated or just caught by surprise.
Yeah, not sure. No.
This is almost exactly what happened the first night of the McKinney fire. I mean, it was on a much, much smaller scale, but for those people, it was just as horrifying. You know, when nature, you know, just decides it's going to destroy and consume, humans are irrelevant, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, lots of prayers and blessings for everybody involved. Anyway.
Well, to end on a lighter note, the last idea I have for a media blitz, some videos is we can get Reddy out here in the back with all the goats, and we can put the goats in the manzanita bushes and have Reddy herding the goats to show. Then I'll probably get a million messages saying, "Hey, do you rent out your goats?"
Yeah, we could do. He would need a commentator, you know, a anchor person to talk about that as he's going through. So I don't know. Yeah. Because Reddy doesn't talk.
No.
Yeah.
He dances. Yeah, if we really wanted to get serious, we could maybe, well, yeah, probably all the CAL FIRE and Forest Service people that could get Smokey Bear and Captain Cal out are not available and fighting
Yeah.
the fire, but
Yeah.
always
Well,
fun.
we always have to get authorization for those guys, and we can be our own authorization for Reddy. We don't have to wait on that. So anyway, good meeting. Appreciate everybody that's hung in here and joined in the conversation and given input. It's appreciated. And looking forward to seeing you next month as we move into our coming up fire season. So let's get ready.
Hi,
Okay,
Thanks, you
Giselle.
guys. Thank you.
Giselle,
Emily?
we're the best. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, Emily, what did you want to say something? I thought she said something.
Yes, just a question, actually. Again, I'm Emily Drain with the Trinity County Fire Safe Council. The county coordinator and myself would like to attend these monthly meetings and get a better idea of the Siskiyou County Fire Safe Council's projects. Is there a website and newsletter that I could possibly sign up for to notify me of the projects y'all are working on?
You can go to our Facebook, firesafesiskiyou.com. And also we have, that's not our Facebook, our website. And then we also have a Facebook. You can just Google that and get us. And then I don't know if we've listed all of our individual projects, but if you're interested, you can get in touch with me and I can list those for you if you would like. Thank you, Josh, for putting that in the link. Yeah, we'll be glad to talk with you about all of the things that are going on here in Siskiyou County. So
That sounds great. Thank you so much.
yeah, just email me or call me and we can talk.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It was great
Yeah,
to
yeah.
connect. And did you see that info about the Shasta County Fire Safe Council's Firewise meeting, Emily?
Yes,
You guys
I will
Firewise
be
going pretty well.
joining.
Oh, you will?
Yes, we do. We actually, all 14 of our communities just got renewed, and I will be in attendance along with our Grizzly Corps fellow.
Great.
Good,
Cool.
good.
Be good to meet you.
I'm
Yeah.
Hey,
looking forward
Emily,
to it.
does Trinity do monthly meetings like this? That if we're
Yes.
interested, we could possibly
Yes, we do.
stop by. Thank you. Could you post that information in the chat?
Yes, let me go ahead and find that actually.
Thank you.
I believe our next meeting is on the 23rd. Sorry, my internet is a little slow here at the moment. But I can also send that information to Giselle if she wouldn't mind sending that out to the wider group.
Yeah, no, I don't mind at all.
Okay, great. I will make sure to get that to you this evening.
Okay. And Ruby's actually the ones that will be sending it out, but I'll forward that to her.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
So it was looking up the Wildfire Ready Raccoon rap song. Sorry about that.
Oh.
I just saw that for the first time and it's amazing.
Yeah, you guys should we paved the way for you guys. You should get your own Wildfire Ready Raccoon for Trinity County. I'm telling you, he really ups your game. Outreach, he's super fun.
All right, well, if everybody is spoke their piece and they don't have anything else to say, I guess we can hop off.